Welcome, everybody, to another goddamn horror podcast. My name is Jonas Barnes. I am your host today, and I am the only host today. Why is that? Because we are starting off our series of episodes about extreme horror, where I'm bringing people on. We're going to be talking about a variety of different extreme horror movies, each one different one with different guests. We're going to be doing this for our Army of the Goddamned, our Patreon subscribers, and also for our YouTube watchers. So it's going to be exclusive for you guys. These are not going to be going out on like Spotify and iTunes and all that fun shit. So it'll just be for people that are checking out our video void and people that are subscribed to our Patreon. You'll get these episodes a week early. So you'll be able to check them out. But yeah, if you're into extreme horror, that's what this series is about. We're going to be going through all sorts of stuff with different people, different guests from all over the country, from different walks of life and everything. And today's episode's really cool. This is somebody I've known for quite some time on the internet. This is something that happens a lot. We've connected through a variety of different things, whether it be horror or comedy or wrestling or all sorts of stuff. So my guest today is a former independent wrestler, manager, short filmmaker, comedian, Joshua Jackson. What's up, man?
Hey guys, how you doing? Yeah, I'm just here to talk about one of my favorite movies. I might be the only person who loves this movie besides Jonas. Really excited to talk about it.
Yeah, man. So we're both fans of View Askew. We're both fans of the Askew-niverse, so to speak. And the movie we're talking about today is, man, this one's fucked up and it's so good. Yeah, dude. Like, so if you guys are not familiar with View Askew, first off, what the fuck is wrong with you? But that's the Kevin Smith film universe. So we're talking about like movies that go back to all the way back to before Kevin Smith was making the movies. You're going all the way back to A Better Place. Like I think A Better Place was actually technically the first View Askew or Askew-niverse movie.
I'm gonna actually have to cut that to contradict you on that.
Really?
Um,
Okay.
Clerks came Clerks came out first. Harvey ended up giving Kev 3 or 4 picture production deal. He produced Big Helium Dog, Vulgar, and A Better Place, which is directed by a mutual friend of ours, Vinny Pereira. And
Yeah,
then
not
and
Vinnie
Drawing
Paul. That would
Flies,
be that would be a different
not
one.
Vinny
But
Paul, no, that'd be weird. And then he did Drawing Flies with Malcolm. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, because I remember when I went and when I got A Better Place originally, I got it on DVD.
okay,
And that's when I got that one, I actually thought that that was technically the first, like the
okay,
first made View Askew-niverse movie. But yeah, I think what you're saying actually, okay, that does make sense. And yeah, shout out to Vin. He fucking
yeah,
rules, dude.
I love that guy.
He's just dropping the new. He's gonna be dropping the Blu-ray release
Yeah,
of A Better
that's
Place
got
here
the
real
nice
soon.
4K restoration. Not to
Yeah.
talk over you.
No, no, you're
Um,
good.
I I've watched him like be so excited throughout this entire process. It's awesome. Like listening to him talk about like getting to sit in on color corrections and stuff is amazing. It's that
Right.
dude is so good. Like such a cool dude.
Also, like he's a true film fan. Like that's the thing
Oh,
about him is that
absolutely.
like
Yeah.
there's people that are like film snobs, and then there's people that are film fans. He's opinionated for sure. Like he knows his
Mhm.
shit, but he is a film fan, which is one of the things I love about Vin. So I'm gonna have him on the show at some point probably to talk about A Better Place because to be really honest, in its own way, A Better Place is a super fucked up extreme movie.
Oh, it's
So
so good. I
yeah,
mean,
it's such a good
not,
film.
not spoilers if you don't know what it's about. Like it kind of addresses school shootings before that was even a topic breached by the media. Like violence in high school, and like not to get in too much about me. Not that I had a school shooting, but at 15, my mother was murdered. She was shot to death. So like seeing that was like, a holy shit, this spoke to me. Like with the things about like his dad suddenly dying of the stroke, falling off the ladder and stuff. Like the feelings of alienation in that movie, like dude, hit home so bad when I watched that at like 16, 17.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's one of those movies I remember when I first watched it. It was like it was one of those things that like I saw it, and also when I first saw it, I wasn't like truly into independent film that much because at that point in my
Okay.
life, I was still very much like a just a casual moviegoer, so to speak. And I
Yeah.
stumbled across that because I was already a fan of the Kevin Smith films. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna go, like watch all of them. And now I own everything from View Askew, including Jay and Silent Bob Due to Degrassi because I'm an asshole. But like, so I
Hey man,
watched.
Drake's got to make a living too.
Yeah, it is what it is. When you're a completist and you have that fucking mental illness that I have for it, it happens. But I watched A Better Place and I was like, holy shit, who is this guy? Like, who is this
Right.
guy that made this movie? And then I immediately was like, I gotta find out who this is. And I've been following, Vin ever since. So I'll be
Right.
excited to have him on eventually when he's doing the full Blu-ray drop and everything. But the movie that we're talking about today, whoo, it is to say that it's the most extreme movie in the View Askew universe would be an understatement. Um, so if you guys haven't
Yeah.
seen it, the movie is called Vulgar. And so you can correct me if I'm wrong. When did this movie come out?
All right. So there's a lot of debate on this. I've heard Brian say it was shot in 1997. Lionsgate ended up picking it up in 2000. They had their premiere in 2000, but I don't believe it was like commercially released until 2002. Um, because I know there's a backstory about Howard Stern getting a hold of a copy of it because all those guys were friends with Stern, and Stern watching half of, like, he said 30 seconds or 30 minutes of it, and then he tossed it in the trash, and then went on the radio the next day and said it was unwatchable trash, which led to a huge like on air argument with Smith. I've heard both of Brian and Smith talk about it. It seemed kind of unfair. You would think Stern would be the perfect guy for this movie. You know what I mean?
For sure. You mean the guy
Yeah,
that like called his boss pig vomit for years and like fucking,
exactly.
had
Yeah.
fucking Artie Lang and Yucko the clown, who is an arguably more fucked up clown than Vulgar is, than Flappy. But, so yeah, the movie it's an older movie as far as like the View Askew movies go. It's an older movie. It tonally is different than any other movie in the catalog of View Askew. Only at a certain point because the way the movie starts out is it starts out a little bit like it gives you a little bit of that like bait and switch because you've
A little
got
bit.
Flappy the clown is very much a clown, like he's
Yeah.
literally a children's party clown, like that type of thing. And it's a movie that I think if you go into it knowing what it is, it's a movie that can be very enjoyable. Like I
Yeah.
like the movie for what it is. But like just to throw it out there, this is also a movie that's not directed by Kevin Smith, but it is produced by Kevin Smith and Kevin Smith is in it. And so
He also did some script doctoring for it too. So you can, every once in a while, you can see a little Kevin Smith element in there.
oh, you absolutely can. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some dialogue parts in it where you're just like that's straight out of a Clerks movie or straight out of a fucking
Right.
Mallrats movie. Like his fingerprints are all over it for sure.
Oh,
Um
absolutely.
So I'm gonna give this one to you. Give the people a breakdown of what the story is.
All right. Story is about Will, the children's party clown. He's very down on his luck from like, it's a little bit of a bait and switch, like you said, but from the opening shot of this movie, you can tell this guy is living in hell.
Right.
There are bums sleeping on
Similar
his
to Clerks, by the way.
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Like, it is very much a Clerks vibe. Like, this guy is down on his luck. It kind of tricks you into that. Yeah. And he stops at a children's party like he's scheduled to, and the Chuli's gum guy is Scott. What's his last name? Shafria. I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher his last name, but great actor.
Dude,
Um,
he acts his
it,
ass off in this movie, by the way.
dude, one of my notes is, goddamn, that Chuli's gum guy can act.
Yeah, yeah, for
Like,
sure. Yeah.
um, he holds his, oh, not yet, but he's getting into domestic abuse case with his wife and his daughter at his daughter's birthday party. Um, well, anyway, the clown gets raped eventually. Now, I'm not gonna go beat through it, but down on his luck, clown decides to be an adult party clown, and he gets sexually assaulted by a group of family of all things, two grown ass men and their deviously horrifying father, who is up against Dennis Hopper in Blue Velvet as the scariest person I've ever seen in a movie.
For
Some of the
sure.
things that comes out of his mouth, like "I want to make hate to you," and "This is how I kiss," haunt me in my nightmares.
Okay,
Uh,
so I want to stop here because I feel like because I want to go back on this just because it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
the clown gets raped. Yes, but
Yeah,
before the clown gets raped, uh we want to get to where that happens. So
right. Yeah, absolutely.
he's at first just a children's clown. Like he's just a
Right.
children's party clown. He gets kind of caught up in this domestic dispute situation and everything like that and realizes that he just can't fucking do that anymore. He's not going to be able to be this party clown anymore because of putting himself in these situations, and out of desperation he decides to do this thing where he's going to put this ad out there where he can be a clown that kind of like shows up to bachelor parties when they think it's
Yeah,
going to be a stripper, and then
yeah,
Flappy the clown shows up in lingerie to be the surprise and like, fuck with people, and which in and of itself is a funny prank. Like that
yeah.
actually
Oh, dude.
is, like if I could hire somebody to do that for one of my homies bachelor parties, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, one of my other notes was I think that's a great idea and want to do that at some point in my life.
Right, right. It's like
And
that's
it's
actually
brilliant.
really funny. So
Like
also,
forced your boy to get a lap dance from like a grotesque dude. Amazing.
yeah, absolutely. And also, by the way, Vulgar and Flappy the Clown, he's played by Brian O'Halloran. So
Yeah.
he's
Um,
played by Dante.
Fun fact: the slogan for this movie is "Some people love a clown more than others." But Vinny told me the original pitch for it was he's not even supposed to bleed here today,
Oh
which I
fuck.
thought was amazing.
That is actually really good.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, he does this ad and then he shows up at this family's, apartment or motel room or something. I can't even remember. No, it's an apartment. He
It's
shows up.
room 37.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, it is. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So he shows up there, and the two sons are also mainstays in the View Aswkewniverse. You have Ethan Suplee, who
Greatest actor ever.
I joked with Josh about this earlier, where I said that I think this is what turned Ethan Suplee to Scientology. He was like, man, raping clowns? I can be a Scientologist. This sounds fun. But you have him, and then you have his brother whose name escapes me, but
Oh,
he's also been in a handful of Kevin Smith films as well. And then yeah, the father. Dude, so this is an interesting
Edwina.
thing. What's up?
I said Edwina, the
Yeah.
plumber.
Yeah, yeah. So here's the interesting thing about the dad. Um, the lines that he has are beyond fucked.
Oh, amazing. I wrote them down to go through at the end of this.
Yeah, dude, the lines that he says are like I said, they're beyond fucked. But the thing is you have to remember this is an independent film, okay? So
Oh, yeah.
it's an indie feature. So it's made on a budget of like 2 Big Macs and 50 cents. Like it's
Uh, the exact the exact budget is $1,200 or 12 two or $100,000. Yeah, like basically $100,000
Which, for anybody that doesn't know anything about independent film, a
is
hundred
nothing.
thousand dollars is nothing. Like that's no money. Like
That's the catering budget. It's less than the catering budget on an Avengers film.
100%, yeah. So you have this movie that it's gritty. It's a grimy movie. It's filmed in very, independent fashion. And also with that you get independent acting. So the reason that I want to bring that up is because the dad, he delivers lines like it's an independent film sometimes, but the words that come out of his mouth and the way that he delivers them actually works out to its benefit. And what I mean by
Right,
that is that because it's an independent film, because he's not the best actor in the world, it actually sounds more real. It actually sounds more like he's just saying it to him as opposed
right,
to sounding like he's acting, which
exactly.
works to a positive in this case. And dude, the stuff that they do, like I want to side note this. As a fan of extreme cinema, rape revenge is actually probably one of my favorite subgenres because I think
See, and for me, I hate that shit. Like this is one of the only movies I can like dig on with that vibe.
yeah, and that's the thing that's one thing that's interesting about that subgenre is people are either into it or they're not. And
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that like I appreciate them for what they are. And when I go into them, I know that the good ones are phenomenal and the bad ones are usually just exploitative garbage, which
Mhm.
I'm very, like I will absolutely throw a movie under the bus if it's exploitative garbage. And I think this movie does something with those scenes especially that is done in a way to where it's effective and it's brutal, but it's not gratuitous, which is
Right.
important. So like you know what's happening. Like you absolutely know what's happening. And there's certain things that they do with the filming, like the POV shots and stuff like that, that make it like that much more guttural
Right.
without being like this exploitative shit like I spit on your grave or something like that. It's
Where
like
like yeah,
way
focuses
more
on like cheeks clapping and shit.
yeah,
No,
yeah, it way more effective in this. As far as
um,
like
th-
making you feel it.
there is it's right after he says the line, "You're gonna do the dog. I'm gonna make hate to you," and they frame the shot so the headboard or like the footboard of the bed is centered and you can see Will's face like through the bars. He looks like he's in his own prison. And
Mm,
when the only way I can put this is when Edwina is inside of Will, he goes to his happy place, and the editing and shit in that stuff that is just fire like Oliver Stone and Natural Born Killers quick fire editing. It's so haunting. Shots of like Vulgar's mouth gritting and like screaming, and then being on the beach, and then like fast cut to him getting mouth raped by Ethan Suplee. Fast cut to the beach, and it's like, holy God! It makes you feel so disgusted. Like my skin is crawling, discussing it right now.
yeah,
That stuff is amazing.
yeah. So the filming choices on it, everything about that, like it does the film a lot of justice, and it does the scenes a
Yeah,
lot of justice, and it makes them to where they're an effective scene without being something that like it doesn't feel like it's trashy. It feels like it's effective, which is I
yeah.
guess the
It
best
feels
way
like
to
it's
put it.
trying to be something higher than what it is asked to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, so going further in the story, this event, Flappy going to this, to this room and having this happen catapults him into a different reality in the sense that like it puts him into a place where he's like, well, I can't put myself in that position anymore. So now what do I do? And so now the story moves on to where Flappy ends up getting like his own TV show. Like he ends up being like a full on like celebrity.
Can I cut in real quick?
Yeah, of course.
We forgot a major part. Um, the movie jumps a year. All right, so like Brian Johnson, I think his name's Sid in the movie,
Yeah.
finds Flappy post rape, basically covered in vomit, bleeding, and he tells him what happened. Promises of nothing can ever come of this. The movie jump cuts a year, and I've always taken it that he's kind of living like I have nothing to lose, everything's fucked. And
Hmm.
then he sees the guy from a year ago having a hostage situation with his daughter. It has escalated from just slapping the wife to a kidnapping charge. And Will says, "Fuck it, I have nothing to live for," and breaks that up. And he appears on a local talk show, which is called "It's Scotty," hosted by Scott Mosier.
Yeah.
I'm also a sidetrack. I think Brian Johnson used every person he knows in this film. His little
Sure.
brother shows up in the opening scene as the kid who throws the water balloon in Will's car.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
His dad is one of the, or is the kid, the little boy that's being tortured by the family later in the movie.
I also didn't know
Yeah,
that.
that's
That's
Brian
funny.
Johnson's dad. There's just a bunch of stuff they use. name drops for all of the View Askew guys, like Affleck, Mosier, Ingram. There's their names that all appear in the film, which I think are hilarious. But what the hell was I started that for a reason.
Oh yeah, no, he
Uh,
breaks it up. He goes on the talk show, and
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
the talk show is what gives him his new
yeah,
clout.
and that launches it because Martan Ingram, Kevin Smith's character, is a film TV producer and brings it to his boss and sees him
Yeah,
as the
yeah,
next Barney. Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, and that whole part right there in the middle, I agree with you 100%. By the way, I think I took that the same way as him living like like fuck it, I don't have anything else to live for. I'm just gonna do like I'm just gonna live. Like I'm just
right.
gonna blah blah blah. And I think that yeah, that scene where he breaks that up, he essentially saves the wife and kid, you know.
Yeah,
And also, by the way, the Chuli's gum guy, I'm so fucked up that I'm just calling him that because I for life of me can't remember his name.
I know his
Uh,
first name's Scott.
yeah, but man, that part specifically, his acting in that part
Amazing.
specifically, holy shit! Like
Yeah,
he did
amazing.
fantastic. So now you have Flappy, who is now got a much better life. Now you've got him having his own show. He's essentially this new, he's the new kid's character. He's the new, for lack of a better term, Barney. And
Yeah,
he's making money. He's got a nice house. He's got a good cush life. He's doing things right. He's doing the good things. And then his past comes back to bite him.
yeah.
So,
Um, that scene is haunting when Ed is sitting with his daughter and wife. First of all, how does Ed get that wife? And like, I don't
right?
care how much money he makes as a plumber.
Right.
That creepy dude and those mutant troll children of his would scare
Right.
that woman away in a heartbeat.
Easily.
First of all, who birthed those children too? Like,
Oh,
what was
oh,
that?
yuck.
But the moment the daughter places the red nose on Ed, um, dude, that gives me chills. It
Yeah,
is so creepy. His acting is beyond anything.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
such a fucked up
amazing.
scene too in its simplicity
Yep.
because when it happens, like if you've watched this movie up to this point through one full sitting, not like Howard Stern, you fucking coward. But
Right.
if you've actually sat here and watched this whole movie to this point, just that red nose scene and his face that he makes when the nose goes on and when he like sees that Flappy has this show and like everything kind of like all happens at once. That scene is very powerful
Yeah.
because he's like, I thought I destroyed this motherfucker. Like
Right.
I thought that this guy would have just offed himself at this point. Like he's got his own fucking show. He's got his own life now. He's got money.
Like, how dare he?
Yeah, yeah. He was like, "How dare you take the power from me that I had over you? Like that was my power to have over you, you piece of shit." So now he's got this whole other thing going on where it's like now it's almost like a reverse revenge story.
Right. It's very old boy in that almost.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Like
Like
they
it
both
really kind
have
of
like
is.
this really like Will is innocent because his revenge is pure. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But like holy shit, like the level of like actual psychology. I don't know if Brian meant that or not, but like you mentioned, it's about the guy trying to take the power back from him, and like that speaks to almost every sexual assault case in the history of time. Like it's about
Yeah.
power. It's not about sexual gratification, and like that is just so brilliant.
Yeah. And I think like it very well might have been on purpose or it could have been something he just stumbled onto, which is kind of like that thing that
Right.
happens sometimes, especially with independent film, where you have
Right.
these things that kind of happen like a lightning in the bottle situation,
Mm-hmm.
and then you kind of just keep them there. You're like, "Oh fuck, we did a thing." Like, and you didn't
Yeah.
even realize it. You're like, "Oh shit, we did a thing." And I think with that scene especially, you can see that the shitty humanity of his character coming out and having that realization where it's just like, "Oh, you're going to have a life after I did that to you? Not on my fucking watch," you know?
Right.
And then it becomes a
It's not
whole
about the money.
no. Now it's a whole new torment. It's a whole new assault that is no longer the sexual assault part of it. Now it's the
Right.
psychological assault part of it.
Right. It's about ruining his life. It's about telling him, "You give me $20,000, I'll give you the tape." Just kidding. I'm going to keep messing with you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like it is just a power trip.
Yeah, and I think like again, this is interesting too. So this is a little bit of a side tangent. This is actually why I like the rape revenge subgenre, because the
Okay.
way that it toys with the power dynamics and the way that it plays with the psychology of it and the way that it plays with the mental aspect of it and the emotional aspect of it as opposed to just the physical assault, that's something that when I watch different movies, when that's done well, it's
Yeah.
brilliant. So
Yeah. Absolutely.
you have movies that are in that subgenre. Like I've brought these up before on the main show, but I'll bring them up here again. There's movies like Revenge from Coralie
Yeah.
Farge.
Yeah.
Fantastic film. Like for my money, that's probably the best rape revenge film of all time. Like that's at
I
the
might.
top.
Well, I was going to say irreversible, but there's no revenge in that. It's well, I mean, there's an attempted revenge, but it ends in another rape.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, it is kind of the pot raping the kettle black. It's kind of what it is, but yeah,
Oh
Irreversible
my
also.
God.
The Irreversible is a fantastically brutal film. Gaspar Noé,
Yeah.
pretty much everything he makes
He's incredible.
yeah, he's one of my favorite filmmakers, for better or worse. But Irreversible is one that like I have that movie in my collection, and I think I've watched it twice, but it was because I watched it first just the way it was made, and then I
Yeah.
watched the straight cut, which was the other way.
I did the same
Dude,
thing. Yep.
whew, they're two different movies.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
but then the other one that I wanted to say that was on the same angle as Revenge is the movie called The Nightingale. So The
I have
Nightingale,
not seen that yet.
so
It's made by the woman made Babadook, right?
exactly, yeah, Jennifer
Yeah,
Kent.
I need to watch that.
So what I've found when I've watched these movies is that when they are created by a woman, the tone of the movie is exponentially more brutal and affecting, but less
Sure.
gratuitous. So
That
you
makes
have
sense.
these 100% makes sense. And there's a scene in The Nightingale which I won't tell you right now because you haven't seen it, but
Okay.
there's a scene in The Nightingale that's within the first 30 minutes of the movie. It is the scene, quote unquote, but the way that it's filmed and the way that it's done is done in a way that it makes you almost have to pause the movie and take a breath, because
Oof.
it's not like you don't actually see it happening. So
Right.
I'm skirting around spoilers, but you don't actually
Sure, sure.
see it happening, but you see the effect of what's happening. And
Okay.
the main actress, what she does with just her facial expressions and her reactions is bone chilling. It's one of those
You know,
things.
that's yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like I saw it in the theater the first time, and when I
Oh
saw it in the
God.
theater, I had to stop. Like I at the end of the movie, I kind of had to sit there because I know there wasn't going to be like some fucking after credit scene where it was like
Right. It's not Marvel.
and another rape. But it wasn't like, so I
Just
wasn't waiting to
replay it.
yeah, yeah, it's just this the whole scene again. But I kind of had to stop and be like, fuck, dude, like cuz by the end of the movie, like it is a rape revenge movie, so there is the revenge aspect of it. But by the time that you get to the end of the movie, like you're almost emotionally exhausted, but like it's in a way where you're just like, "Oh, I'm glad I watched that, but I
Yeah.
don't know when I'm going to watch it again." And I
I got
had
a few
one,
of those.
yeah, and I had one of my friends watch it, who she's also a big fan of it. So I had her watch it, and by the time she got to the end of the movie, she goes, "I am crying so hard, and I am so pissed off and so happy at the same time." And
Nice.
I was like, "Yep,
That's the right
that's,"
answer.
I was like, "That is exactly how it is." So yeah, I would highly, highly recommend if you like revenge, watch The Nightingale,
Okay.
because two very different movies. The Nightingale's in like Tasmanian colonial times, so it's like a period
Okay.
piece. Um,
Can you tell her like history of Lars Van Trier in it? because like she used to be like one of his assistants and stuff, and a huge proponent of the Dogma '97 movement or Dogma
Mm,
'95 movement.
yeah.
So like she like is one of Lars's proteges. I've always been interested in her career because of Lars, because he's such an extreme director, and you can think about what you want about him because he's everything you think he is, but he can make a fucking movie. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
100%.
that dude. I'll put Nymphomaniac or Dancer in the Dark or Antichrist up against anything. Like goddamn, dude,
Absolutely.
Dancer in the Dark was one of those movies that fucking broke me. Like
Yeah.
broke me. Like I had to take a walk and cry afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was like 16, and all my friends were like, "You're a fucking pussy. You let this movie affect you? I'm like, fucking watch it, dude." And
Yeah,
like all
dude.
my boys watched it, and they were like, "Dude, what? Why?
Yeah.
Why?" Like,
Yep.
yeah. And I
Yeah,
like
dude.
that might be one of my first moments of like, oh, I love getting reactions out of people with movies. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's why I like extreme cinema. So that's why I like
Yeah,
movies like
absolutely.
Vulgar, or I like Lars von Trier, or I like Gaspar Noé. Because like, dude, Gaspar Noé is one of those ones that, like you said, brilliant filmmaker. But his movies are not easy to watch. Like they're difficult movies, you know.
Right. Oh
And
yeah.
there's did you ever see the movie Climax?
Oh, the dance movie? Yeah.
Yeah, fucking brilliant movie. I've like
Go lay
I've
down.
Dude, I've seen a lot
Sorry.
of movies. That's fine. The dog can be part of it. We like dogs here on AGHP. But
It is fun.
dude, I fucking remember the first time I saw Climax. This was funny. I watched it in the theater also. This is like when I'd first started getting the AMC A list thing, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch movies that I didn't think I was gonna go see. So I saw it, and the first time I watched it, I walked out of it and I go, what in the fuck did I just watch? Like, I legitimately, I was like, I don't know if I love that movie or I hate that movie, but I do want to see it again
And
because,
to me,
yeah,
like that, every movie that has become my favorite movie and like my top 10 list, there's like one or two of them I walked out and was like, best movie I've ever seen.
sure,
The rest of them, like I walked in, I was like, I have no fucking idea how I feel about that movie. I love parts of it, and it made me feel uncomfortable, and I didn't like it, and like, and you watch it a few more times, and it becomes a part of you.
yeah.
No Country for Old Men was like that for me. American Psycho, like
Natural
these
Born
movies that
Killers.
just shake you.
Natural Born
And
Killers
like
did that to me.
Natural Born Killers, that doesn't count for me because I saw that very young and immediately was like, this is amazing, and liked it for all the wrong reasons.
Sure. Young Edge Lordy, like, yeah, I fucking love this
Uh-huh.
movie. Yeah.
Oh, if you knew me when I was 14, I was the most pissed off punk kid. 15, like 15 pissed off punk kid ever. Wearing battle vest at 15 in the mid 2000s. Like
Oh
just
yeah.
in a sea of red baseball caps. I was a middle finger and a mullet. Not quite a
Fuck.
mullet, more of a mohawk, but
Sure. I
you
no,
know,
dude, we know about the Mohawk. We know that. Like,
exactly.
yeah.
Yes.
So that's funny because like when my ex-fiance who is no longer here, she's floating around here somewhere. But she's
Gotcha. Sorry.
but no, it's it happens. But with her, I always told her that she was the Mallory to my Mickey, and then she was
Oh,
just like she always laughed about it. When I told her that at first, she goes, "What does that mean?" And I was like, "Oh, sweetie, we have to watch a movie." And then I showed
you're
her the
right.
movie, and she goes, that may be the most fucked up thing and best thing that you've ever said to me now after I watched that movie. But
You want to hear
Natural Born,
something funny real quick?
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I mentioned I had like kind of a fucked up childhood. I didn't lose my virginity until I was 21. I literally lost it watching fucking Natural Born Killers.
Hilarious.
Right.
That's amazing. That's a guy. I mean, listen. So another friend of the show, fantastic filmmaker, producer, Heather Buckley.
Okay.
I was talking to her about extreme movies, and this is when I first met her through like all the another goddamn horror podcast stuff, and I was having a conversation with her, and I was like, "How do you feel about extreme horror movies?" And she goes, "I got laid during the bunny game once," and I was just like,
Holy
"Holy shit!"
shit,
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, you're one of my people. All right, cool." Like,
dude. I actually like was pretty close with those guys, especially Getsec before she got ill.
yeah,
Um, like, dude, that movie, Jesus Christ,
yeah, dude,
she
talk about a
got
fucked up
branded.
movie. Yeah,
She really
talk
got
about
branded.
yeah. So as soon as she said that, I was like, all right, we're friends now. Like I was like,
Yeah,
you and me, we're cool. Um, so yeah, like going to these, so having this like this rape revenge story that is kind of like this vein of a storyline that goes through Vulgar. It's
yeah,
like it's an interesting take on the rape revenge situational part of what these movies can be. And I think what's most effective about it is the psychological aspect of it is very real. Even though it's like
yeah.
fantastical in the movie, it's a very realistic portrayal of it, just turned up to 1,000 a little bit. But it's a very realistic portrayal of what attackers and what these people, these monsters do to the people that they victimize when they're still in
I
their
was
life, you know, like they hold shit over their
right.
heads, like they taunt them, like it's super fucked up, and the way that they do
Well,
it in the movie is just, I think it's great.
there's a big theme of like rape and incest in the film. At one point, Will tells Sid that his mother, her mother, Will's grandmother, died early, and Will's mother had to start performing all of the wifely duties for her father. In basically saying there was an incestual relationship with the mother, who
Yeah.
is incredibly abusive to Will, constantly. So there's just a theme there of abuse and power trips, and it's not even about sexual abuse in some of it. It's about people who can control you and control your emotions. Will is basically a puppet to everybody around him. And he's helpless. And when he finally gets a gain of power, um, this monster tries to take it from him again. And I know from personal experiences with some friends of mine, I've had that conversation that Sid has with Will, about that we need to get these guys, and the fear and guilt that a victim feels after that, and like that scene is incredibly powerful. I think Brian O'Halloran probably, and it would have never happened, but he probably should have gotten like an Independent Spirit Award for this movie. There is a level of just grit to those scenes. When he's in the bathroom and it looks like he's going to reach for a razor and he
Yeah.
just reaches for a loofah. Holy fuck, you know?
Yep.
Um, I can't even, yeah, there's just so much to it. It's such a heavy film. And at the same time, manages to be absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I don't even understand how they walk that line. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
I think when it comes to this, I mean, you know, you did stand up comedy for quite a long
Yeah,
time too. So you know that you can take things that are fucked up scenarios and fucked up situations and you can make them funny even within the context of it being a fucked up scenario. So like I think where a lot of things when it comes to comedy specifically, I think there's things that people kind of gloss over when they're critiquing comedy, and they think that somebody's just being an edgelord because they told a rape joke, or because they told a death joke, or because they told a race joke, or whatever, insert thing here. And
right.
I think when you pull back and you look at the performer, and you look at the actual context of the joke, you can see different parts of it because there are, like, I would say probably 75 to 80%, if not more, of the people that go out and do those jokes are just shitty edgelord hacks,
Oh yeah,
and they're just doing
it's getting
garbage.
the easiest pop possible.
Right. But then you have people that are like the top of the level, which is like the Anthony Jeselniks, who
Right.
take phenomenally dark shit, just absolutely gutter, like pitch black material, and makes it funny within the context of who Anthony Jeselnik is and what he presents for his comedy. And then you have other people that have always made jokes about things that are real and things that are dark. There's one of my best friends in the world, Christine Levine, has
Yep.
some of and she's like part of the whole Doug Stanhope crew and like all those people. Like Doug Stanhope obviously is legend in the game of
Genius.
being just absolutely just dark genius. And Christine Levine has some of the, I would say, some of the darkest material ever. And
Right.
she's never been put on such a huge platform like, you know, Stanhope has or anything like that. to put that stuff out into the, into the world for like mass consumption. But a lot of the stuff that she talks about in her act is extremely dark. She My cat was trying to get out. She has a joke that's a I won't do the joke on here because it won't do it justice, but it's
Right.
essentially a joke about how she has to break the news to her children that there's a pedophile in the neighborhood and why they don't have to be afraid of that pedophile. And it's fucking hilarious. And like,
Now I need to hear when this is over. Please send me a video of this because I want to hear this punchline.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So like she's done that. She has lots of stuff. And Adrian Epolucci is a current one who has a Netflix special out called The Dark Queen. Her fucking material is pitch black and it is so good. And it's these types of so like these types of comedians that do this stuff show you that you can take, subjects and material. Like I have jokes about death. Like I talked about my fiance dying. I have multiple jokes about her death in my act
Right.
now, which is kind of funny because when I present it to an audience, as soon as I say that my fiance died, they immediately get sad and it's like fucking hold on. Like we're going
Right.
somewhere else
Wait
with
for
this,
it.
yeah, yeah. And like
Yeah.
I did a joke about a suicide attempt one time. Like,
Right.
and the funny thing about those is like when you bring those things up where you talk about something like that where you're like, let me tell you about the time that this happened and everybody goes, "Oh, it's like it's a happy ending. Like what the fuck do you think happened? Like I'm right
Right.
here." You know, like
This is a comedy. You're in a safe space. You're gonna laugh at the end of this. I promise you.
yeah, yeah. If not, you're going
I
to think, like
right. I used to have a few bits that really bordered like would push the envelope. One of them I wrote along with my friend Kay Norris, basically Kyle Norris, his real name. Um, you might actually know him. He works with Jamie Kennedy now.
nice.
But he and I wrote this joke that basically was I was on I was on Neighborhood Watchdog, and I found out that how did it go? I haven't told this joke in so long. Basically, I was on Neighborhood Watchdog, and I saw that there was a pedophile in my neighborhood. Um, but now I just realized I live next to a bunch of really hot kids.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah. And then like I had a joke about my old man dying. This one it was amazing because it would get like all the women would hate it, and you'd hear the guys like losing their shit.
sure.
It was a story about it's a true story. It's how I found like how my dad died. I woke up, took a shower. I was like, "Hey, you want to watch the new American Horror Story?" And he's a big horror guy, just like me. And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And my dad was sick. I was taking care of him, and he's like, "Would you make some coffee?" And I'm like, "Already on it." Brewing some coffee, and I go, "Dad, coffee's done." And he didn't answer. And I go, "Dad, coffee's done. Get up and get it." He doesn't answer. I go, "Motherfucker, you better be dying in there." And I got up, I walked in his room, and for the first time in my life, that motherfucker didn't disappoint me. He was dead.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, so first off, I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
No, it's okay.
But on the same token, that's how you turn chicken shit into chicken salad. Like
Exactly.
that's how you take a situation because if you look at that as a comedian, that's a
Right.
funny fucking joke.
Thank
Like
you. I appreciate
it
that.
is. And that's how you take something. It's like so I actually have something about my biological father who died when I was 13. So my thing, this was also I talk about this material as like my golden goose. It's like my
Okay.
unicorn. It's the one that I could never figure out how to make funny. It was the one that I
Right.
always reached for. Like when I was writing stuff that was fucked up about like, tragic stuff, I was always like, how do I make this thing funny? Because there's an aspect to it that is funny. Okay.
Right.
So my biological father was a hardcore drug addict. He was abusive. He had lots of problems, and he died when I was 13. But when I was much younger, when I was essentially a baby, he left me at a drug house as collateral for a shitload of drugs that he was getting that he was not going to come back for. So like I was
That's
there.
true.
Yes, very true.
Jesus Christ.
So the reason that I'm here is because his best friend showed up to pick up drugs, saw that I was there, and was like, "What the fuck is the baby doing here? Like, I gotta take the kid back to my mom." So he did. And so that's essentially why I'm here. That's like the short version of that. So in the joke, I'm
Wow.
trying to think to myself, like, how do I make that funny? Because there is an aspect to it that is
Yeah,
funny
there's
to
something
me.
there.
My mom, bless her heart, she says, well, it's not very funny to me. And I'm just like, well, yeah, you live through the thing. Like, of course it's not funny to you. But I was thinking about it, and I was talking about it with like, I was talking through it like on stage with an audience. And I was like, I've had this like deep seated hatred for my biological father for all these years. And I
Yeah,
couldn't,
rightfully so.
yeah. And I was like, and I couldn't let go of it. I've let go of like hate for everybody else that I've had problems with in my life, but I couldn't let go of it for him. And I remember when I went to therapy one time and I talked, it was my first time with this therapist. They said, "What do you want to get out of this therapy session?" I said, "I want to get over this thing with my father." And they were like, "Oh, well, what happened?" And I told them, and they were like, "I'm gonna have to go ahead and get you to a better therapist." And I was like, "Really? Fucking upgrade me to a supervisor on the first meeting? Like that's what you got to do with this?" It's like, and like the energy in the room was like, if he would have just fucked you, we could have gotten this done quick. He left you for drugs, like, like sorry. So I had to think about it and be like, so yeah, this is deep seated. So, as a father, yeah, I hate my biological father. But as a businessman, holy fuck, do I respect my biological father. Could you imagine trying to barter that deal, trading drugs for a baby? Like the fucking dude that got the drugs won that deal 100%. The people that got the
Right.
baby, what a dog shit deal they got. Like
You
this
gotta
fucking
take care of a kid. You gotta explain where you got it. Yeah, like that's
it's
fucked.
a fat baby. It's gonna shit a lot. It's gonna need a lot of food. Fucking drugs make money. Babies cost money. Like this is, and these were like low level small town drug dealers. They weren't selling me into human trafficking. And also, I probably wasn't a very fuckable baby. I was very bitey. Like it just wasn't good. So
Dude,
that
that's a
was
monster joke. That's
yeah.
amazing.
So. That's where I kind of found out. I was like, okay, yeah, the funny part of it is that he was a great businessman. He was just a shit father. Like, that's really what it was.
That's
And
fantastic.
it took me fucking 20 years to figure that out. It took me 20 years to figure out like what is funny about this thing that's been in my past for fucking ever that has basically, like fucked up this, that, and the other thing. And then when I finally figured it out, I was like, I can let that go now. Like,
Right. Isn't that the amazing cathartic thing about that?
yeah, once you take something fucked up and you take something in your past and you take a situation that's shitty and you make it funny or you quote unquote beat that,
Yeah.
you win finally. You finally win the battle. Like there is that catharsis to it.
I want
Which
I want to bring this full circle here real quick.
yeah,
Um, Vulgar. We were talking about the themes of incest and rape. Brian Johnson has gone on record multiple times on Tell 'em Steve Dave saying that he was molested multiple times with from a family member as a child. So I think a lot of this was him exercising those demons. That's why when those scenes happen, when they are so dark and so deeply effective, um, when those happy place moments happen, I think that comes from a very real fucking spot for him.
it seems like it.
Yeah.
It honestly does.
Um, I think one of the reasons why he never made a movie is because despite how cavalier he comes across, I think he very much cared about this film. And when it made no money and the world went fucking, who cares about the rape clown rape movie? Like it hurt him. It really hurt him.
I
Which
don't
is
think anybody
unfortunate.
I don't think anybody makes a movie like this just to make this movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't think
Yeah.
anybody just sits down and says, I'm gonna make a fucking clown rape revenge movie on no money. And like, there's got to be something else there. There's got to be some sort of a connection to it, which I agree with you. I think very much it has to do with the personal connection to him. And the reason that I think, so the reason I was talking about all this dark humor stuff is I think the humor works in this movie because of that. Because I think the stuff that is in this movie that is true to life, like contextually, that is
Yeah.
like true to life to what has happened, with the filmmakers and with the people involved with it. I think that translates to screen on this so that the humor that is there gives you kind of like that breathing room. Because
Right.
dark there's movies out that are like there's a movie out right now called The Coffee Table that people call
I've heard about that.
a dark comedy. Once
Yeah.
you watch the movie, you can ask me aside or talk to me aside and tell me if you think it's a dark comedy. um
Okay.
I personally think that it is, but I think it's like this it's just the littlest bit of comedic aspect to a very fucked up movie. So
So
it,
compared to like Blue Velvet, like most people would not consider that movie funny, but I do. So
right.
like, is it like that where it's like, holy shit, this is just so dark, you have to laugh at it?
So this is the best way for me to explain the coffee table. The coffee
Okay,
table is it's a foreign film.
okay,
It's a traditional length movie. It's like 90 minutes. So it's not a super long movie or anything.
yeah,
And it starts off with the most fucked up thing possible happening, and then
okay,
the rest of the movie is them dealing with that situation. And the way that they
okay.
deal with that situation is funny when you step back and look at it as like, okay, this is absurd and fucking crazy
Yeah,
and kind of funny, even though what you're visually seeing is super fucked up. And not like over the
I
top
love
super
that
fucked
shit.
up, but like just super fucked up. So
Right.
there, yeah, it's like I've told people that it's kind of like Lemony Snicket's Series of Unfortunate Events, but in the worst way possible.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm in.
it's just a series of domino effect shit that happens.
Dude,
Um
that sounds amazing to me.
yeah, it's honestly it's a fantastic movie. But when people call it a black comedy, I'm just like, "Oh, you got to be real careful with who you tell that to because if somebody walks
Right,
into it expecting jokes, they're not going to get that." But
right. If they're thinking
contextually,
Hangover,
no, 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 no.
yeah,
This
yeah,
is not that.
it's more happiness than a Hangover.
For sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Did you
it's
fuck
like
my friend, Dad?
come on, man. Um, so yeah, like I think with Vulgar, I think the humor that comes out of it is definitely on purpose, but I think it's necessary for this movie because this movie is like on an emotional level extremely heavy. So
Right.
when you have these moments of a little bit of levity here and there with whether it be lines or whether it be a delivery or whether it be a sight gag or even honestly sometimes the music that's playing in the background that's like
I have a
traditional
note on
clown
that.
music. Like, you know?
During the rape scene, I wrote a note with what that just said, "What the fuck music are they dancing to?" And it's just like
Yeah, dude.
gears grinding and it's like this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, it's a weird thing to say, but it's a weird rape soundtrack. It's a
Yeah,
weird
it's a very strange.
it
Not when
definitely
you
is.
expect somebody to be raped.
Yeah, yeah. Or it's the exact music that you would expect somebody to be raped to. It just
That
kind
you
of
know what? That's fair.
depends on how you look
You,
at it.
you don't expect Sade playing.
No, you definitely do not. Boys to Men, like that would by group name would make
That
sense.
that might make her way more creepy if "I'll Make Love to You" is playing.
Oh man, that would be horrible. That would
I'm gonna
make it
make my roommate re-edit that, and we're gonna tag it
with
at the
that
end of this
song.
video. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, O'Halloran Flappy, he would be praying for End of the Road to show up on that one. But um so I think with this movie, I think when you walk into this movie, you have to understand that it is written by View Askew people. So the dialogue is there from View Askew people. Like
right.
it's that kind of a dialogue. Like the back and forth between O'Halloran and Brian Johnson, the back and
Fucking
forth,
legendary.
yeah, it very much also when you listen to it, you're like, oh, that's a Kevin Smith movie. That's what
Right.
it sounds like. You know what I mean? And it's
The
definitely because his fingerprints are all over it.
the diner scene when he's reading from the paper that O'Halloran gives him, and he goes, "Dude, this guy will eat your boogers for free." Like
Yeah.
I use that line in reality all the time, like just to make myself laugh.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing you can't take away from Kevin Smith's movies. They're endlessly quotable.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
for better or worse, Vulgar is the same way. Like it really is. There's so many lines in it that are extremely quotable once you've seen the movie more than once, where you're just
Right.
like that one's going to stick, that one's going to stick. There's just going to be a lot of things.
I got
Um
while we're on this subject, I have a list of them that I'd like to
yeah, please
bring
throw them
out.
out there. Yeah, absolutely.
Um, you're gonna do the dog right before they bend him over and take advantage of him. I'm gonna make hate to you. And now here comes the shame.
Yeah,
Uh,
dude. Those two lines, by the way, those two lines specifically
yeah,
are so grotesquely realistic. Like
Yup.
in the context of what's happening, that like
Nightmare
that's
fuel.
reality. Like it's
Yeah.
absolute nightmare fuel.
And he knows, well, the thing about it is he knows what he's doing. It's not an instinctual, like, oh, I'm just going to rape this guy. Like, I'm going to break this man. And I'm going to tell him I'm going to break him. Like,
It's a true power move. Like it's a
yeah,
100%. There's times in movies one time like where you'll see like a rape scene where it's very much like a it's like
instinctual, animalistic.
instinctual or not even instinctual, like an act of passion, an
That, yeah,
act of like that type of thing. It's not planned. It's not like they kind of don't know what they're doing. They just something
right.
took over and they did it.
Yeah,
Like
instinctual was the wrong word.
yeah, whereas this one, like this is like his favorite shit. Like this is what he
Yeah,
loves to
it's
do.
his hobby.
Like yeah, like
Yeah,
he
this is bowling on Friday night for him and his buddies.
yeah,
Like,
and
or him and
yeah,
his sons, even.
yeah, and he's got the most fucked up bowling league team ever. Like it's just worse. But also, like one of his kids is filming it, so they're making videotapes of
Yeah,
this whole thing, which is like a big
like,
part of the movie that we glossed over.
absolutely.
The
Yeah,
videotape is the videotape is the thing that they hold over O'Halloran's head the whole
because
time.
they edit it.
Yeah, that so
They
they
edit
hold it
it
on.
because he says I like sucking cock or something like that.
They make him
They
say
play it in
stuff.
a
Yeah.
way, yeah. Another one of the lines, and this is more of a funny one, is they hate you, man. Your burger from Kevin
Yeah.
Smith when he's talking to the boss.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and my other like favorite last line of that is I was on the news once when the car jumped the curb and killed a retarded kid, and O'Halloran just smiles. Like,
Oh
dude,
yeah.
I laughed so hard at that rewatching this. Like, holy shit, that was funny. And then finally, Kevin Smith looks, and this is the crux of the entire film. This whole movie rests on this one line. When Kevin Smith, the producer, shows up to Will's house and he's like, "Why would you do this?" And Will just looks at him and goes, or Kevin Smith's character looks at Will and says, "You ever hear of caramel?" And he just kind of shakes his head at him. And that is what happens at the end. It's karma in its truest sense. Will walks away with his hands clean. He's frustrated because he doesn't actually get to kill himself. For jumping ahead, I'm sorry.
It's
But the
fine.
reason why Ed dies is because he's been smoking crack and is in his 60s.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in the original cut, but in the director's cut, you see Ed smoking crack. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with Will. It has nothing to do with fate. It is just this guy who puts garbage into the world and garbage into his body, and it just destroys him eventually. And
Yeah.
it's karma at its fucking core, and I love that. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
fucking love that.
It destroys him from the
And
inside out, and it is the message is that he destroys himself. Like the
yeah,
things that he does and the things that he does to people and the things that he puts out in the world are the things that killed him. The thing
right.
that killed him was the decisions that he made, and the decision that he made was to do this, to do this drug, to smoke crack, which ultimately also probably turned him into the homicidal rapist that he was. And
Probably.
like so he probably had these other things that were going on there. And also like so that coming back around and being the thing that takes him out is yeah, there's a poetic justice to that,
Yeah.
you know. And I agree with you.
Um,
I think it's a very prophetic line. I think it's poetic. I think it's karma for believe in what you're going to believe in, but karma, when it does come around, it
it
comes
comes
around,
around.
it comes around viciously sometimes.
Right.
And I think
Just
everybody.
to quote one of my favorite songs of all time, justice can sleep for centuries to wake when it's least expected.
Hmm.
Like, that's just such a, like, I've always loved that line. I actually have it like tattooed on my arm.
Nice.
But like, yeah, like so this film was inspired. I've heard Brian say that it was inspired by Taxi Driver, and if you look at the end of it, it's very clear that it was.
Yeah.
Um, I like that he took the spin that Will does not turn into Travis Bickle. Will wants
Right.
to be, but
Right.
just like his mother said, he's a failure.
Yeah.
Like, but it's the one time his failure kind of works in his favor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It kind of saved him.
it's yeah, absolutely. Like, it's didn't him fuck up when they buy the guns, or even because all right. So when the shooting, actually, we'll get to this. because I want to break that scene down.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty good. So where were we in the movie? Sorry, you got all sidetracked and stuff.
No, it's fine. We jumped ahead. We got to the ending. We got to him being a crack smoker for his whole life for the most part. Him dying from that. You
Yeah,
have and so you have Flappy who's being now extorted for
right.
money, and he's being having this tape held over his head. You have the back and forth between him and Brian Johnson where he's like, what if this tape doesn't even fucking exist? Like
Oh yeah, yeah.
you have that thing. And you have we can actually get to the breakdown of this scene because it gets to a point where O'Halloran's character is like, I got to put an end to this,
Right.
and he thinks he's gonna go and he's gonna kill these guys. Like he
And
straight up,
he sends Sid by guns from Jason Mewes,
yeah, yeah,
who I don't even think is acting in this movie. I
no,
think he's
not at
just
all.
on heroin. Like it's
Yeah,
rough. Like
it was definitely during the heroin days.
yeah, and like I love Jay, but it's so hard watching him like that.
I remember the first time I saw this, I felt the same way. And there's times where I've seen him in other movies where I've because I adore Jay. I
Yeah,
absolutely adore Jason Mewes as a person. Everything that I've
yeah,
seen
me
about
too.
him, like absolutely adore him. And there's been times where I've seen him in the movies where I'm just like, fuck, like I
Oh yeah,
where I'm just like, I really hope he's here this time next year. Like
right.
and that was also a thing as being a fan of this whole universe of films. He's been the one where, like, when Kevin Smith had the heart attack, like, I wasn't surprised, but also at the same time, I was surprised. Whereas, like,
Right.
if I would have heard that they found Jason Mewes in a ditch or something face down, I would have been like, that
It
checks
would have
out.
never been.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
would have been like, yeah, that makes sense. And I remember when I
Um.
saw, I think it was Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, where he had just
Yeah.
gotten his new teeth. He still had meth lips, so
Yeah.
he still had like meth mouth. But like it was, I know that he was clean at that point, and I know that he had gotten his new teeth, but the mouth was still there. Like
Was still weird.
it was
Yeah.
still kind of fresh. Where I was just like, his mouth looks methy. But I meant like when I said that to my friend, I was just like kind of like that's gonna go away. But you can
Right.
tell that like he had just gotten the new teeth and like he had just gotten clean not too long ago and everything like that.
He was
And
learning how to talk again.
yeah, yeah. And dude, like talk about a fucking turnaround story though.
Oh
Like
yeah.
anybody that's watched any of the Evening with Kevin Smiths and stuff like that, and Kevin's
Or
told the
listen to
stories.
Jay and Silent Bob Get Old.
Yeah, and like you've heard the
Amazing
stories from
podcast.
Kevin where he's like had to say where he was like there was a point where I had to like turn him away and be like, I can't keep fucking enabling you. And
It
then
was
when
on
he
a Thanksgiving.
yeah. So like the fact that Jay has been able to turn his life around and get to the point where he is now, man,
Beautiful.
he's one of those stories of success for addiction and shit like that that I really
And
um
shout out to Jordan, his wife, for sticking with him through all that shit too, because like she's a big reason why he's okay.
100%.
Um,
Yeah.
like I listen to a lot of those podcasts, and she's such an amazing human being.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
I'm so
absolutely.
happy that they got together. And honestly, she's the reason why Kev's still making movies. Like she's become like an Uber producer for them.
Yeah.
Like she secured the Saban deal and stuff that got Clerks and James Silent Bob reboot made.
I always think it's funny too in that movie in Jay and Bob Reboot when they talk shit about Saban too because like
So funny, the Power Rangers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's because like every time like anybody that watches a lot of movies, you know that certain times there's like a distributor label that pops up on screen and you know
Yeah,
immediately that's just like this is either going to be great or dog shit. And then sometimes
yo,
it's just like this is going to be terrible and you know that. Saban was always one of the ones where it was like either this is going to be really good or really bad. And you
yo,
just you don't know. So yeah, that was always funny to me. But yeah, shout out to Jason Mewes, man. Like he's a good success story of recovery and
yeah.
I hope to see him do more shit because I think he's so pigeonholed in the Jay character that people neglect to realize that he actually can act. Like he's
Have
actually
you ever seen a film? Sorry to cut you off, but have you ever
oh,
seen a movie called RSVP?
yeah.
Dude, he's amazing in that movie.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
remake of Rogue. Like, holy shit, that movie's great.
Yeah. He did very good in that. There was a movie that was not great, but he was good in it called The Madness of the Method or something like that.
Oh, he wrote and directed that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah, it's fun.
the movie itself is not great. But it's not that it's and that's of no fault to his because he
Right.
actually
He's
does
a first
very
time
good.
filmmaker.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he does very good in it. Like it's a fun
Right.
movie.
And
Um
Kevin is hilarious as like an asshole version of Kevin. Like
yeah. Yeah,
that
yeah.
whole movie is such a fun, like, we're gonna take all of my friends and turn it on its ear. Like he kills Brian O'Halloran.
Yep. Dude,
I like that movie.
I love meta movies like that. And they did a
Yeah.
good job with it. And like honestly, anytime he shows up in a movie, he's solid. Like Zack and Mary Make a
Yeah.
Porno, he was fucking hilarious. He stole that
I
movie.
was uh I was just listening to an episode of Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, and Jay was talking about how like he doesn't think he can have a career outside of Kevin. And Kevin's like, you realize you've like been the lead in multiple films, right? Like you have headlined fucking like he brought up James Silent Bob Strike Back and he said whatever domestic gross they brought in. And he's like, not many people can say that, Jay. Like you have a career. You just need to believe in yourself. And I think that's the reality of it.
Yeah. 100%. If you look at Jay and Silent Bob as a team too, Jay is always the one that's like the star of the team.
Yeah. He
Like without a
carries it.
question.
Yeah. And he's such a fearless actor too, which is funny considering like the stories you hear about him in Clerks, like asking people to leave when he would dance and like
Mhm.
being shy on camera, which is crazy because apparently the guy will just whip his dick out in front of you if you've met him for 5 minutes.
Well, and that's also like when I brought up Zack and Mary Make a Porno, like
Yeah,
that whole scene at the end where he just bends
Dutch
over,
Rudder.
just like fucking dick and balls hanging in the fucking light. Like
Yeah.
there's very few actors in Hollywood that would do that scene.
Oh
Like
yeah,
just very
absolutely.
few. There's not a whole lot of dudes in Hollywood that are gonna hang meat like that. And he just like not only did he hang meat like that, he did it in a way that was like extremely exposing. Like so it was,
Do you know
you
the
know,
backstory to that? There's an amazing backstory to this.
no, I don't.
Um, Kev asked him, will you go nude? And he's like, no. And he's like, well, seeing as you stole $200,000 from me and you still owe that to me, um, I'll forgive that debt if you do that. And he goes, okay, I'll do it. And the entire day, he's like, hey, Kev, you want to see my dick? Hey, you want to see my dick? Like fucking with him. And
Yeah,
he's like, no, it'll happen when it happens. So apparently, like that, Kev's seen his dick a million times, you know? And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
apparently not, he's not a shower, you know? He's
Right,
a
right.
little limp dick, thumb dick. Um, but he fucking apparently gets himself like hard, like on the
Yeah, yeah.
verge of being hard right before he comes out, and
Fluffs
everybody's
himself
like
up a little bit.
blown away by the size of his hog. And he Kev sends the dailies to Affleck, and Affleck calls Kev up, and he's like, "You know he fluffed, right?" And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "He was fluffing right before. I promise you, he is 99% hard right there." Like, just amazing story.
uh, dude, that actually makes sense. Actually, now that you watch
Yeah,
them, when you watch the movie back, you're like, "That actually makes sense. That does
yeah,
totally make sense." Because if he was just doing the gummy worm, that would have been a whole different
right.
scene. Like it
Oh
would have
yeah,
whole
yeah.
different
It
scene.
has to be like a hog. You know what I
Yeah, yeah, you got
mean?
to. Yeah, man, it's so Jason Mewes, he's one of those people I think yeah, he doesn't get the credit that he deserves as an actor, like really at all.
Honestly, none of those guys do. None of them.
No.
They've gotten lumped in with Kevin, which for good or bad, you know. And I love Kevin. He's my literally one of my personal heroes. So like I'm not talking shit about him at all. But Hollywood seems to have pigeonholed him into a certain box, which is unfortunate because I think that guy's got some really amazing stories to tell.
He does. I agree with that. I think the biggest, and this comes full circle to Vulgar, I think that O'Halloran is one of the ones that got like the worst end of that pigeonhole stick
Oh,
because
absolutely. Because he's
you don't,
Dante.
yeah, and the funny thing is that when you watch Vulgar
Yeah,
or you watch any other movie that O'Halloran is in, when you hear him talk, you can't help but go, "That's Dante,"
that's
and
Dante.
it
Even in
sucks.
this,
Like, it sucks because you want to say, "Oh, that's Brian O'Halloran," doing this, that, or the other thing, but you fucking can't because his delivery, his voice, his cadence, his everything all reminds you of Clerks 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
And it always sounds like Dante just because that's his voice. That's the way he, like, even when he does shit on stage, like when he does comedy and stuff, which
Yeah.
he's, yeah, like it's the same thing. He sounds like
Or even
Dante.
he's on the floor right now on Fox. I haven't watched it, but apparently he's killing it right
Yeah, and that's the thing is like O'Halloran's great. And I think this movie is one of the things that kind of showcases even like when you're in the more fucked up parts, when you're in the darker parts of this movie, that's where Dante goes away
now.
and Brian O'Halloran really comes out as an actor. And like the dude has chops. Like if you put something in front of him and say you need to make this real, fucking dude can make it real.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
there's parts of this movie that are very hard to watch, and it's not because of the quality of the film. It's because of how he's
No.
delivering it, and he's delivering these things in such a real way that kind of like make you step back for a second and be like, whew, like, it gives you
Right.
that kind of like, I gotta take a breath.
Oh, he's such a great everyman. Um, I think that's why people really identified with Dante is because you know that guy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You went to school with him. You are him. He's your dad who had to clerk a shit job every day to make sure you went to school. Like
We've all been a
he's
guy that
just
had to go in when we weren't supposed to be there that day. Like
right,
100%,
right.
We've all been there.
Um, and then like even in Vulgar, like I'm sure not everybody's been as destitute as Will, but like
Maybe their own version of it.
everybody's been there. Yeah, everybody's been there where
Yeah.
everything feels like it's raining.
Dude,
Um,
I remember this like this is a funny side story. Um when I had first moved out of my house, so I was like
sure.
19 or something like that. I was living with my girlfriend at the time. Moving in with the girlfriend that I lost my virginity to because that's a great fucking idea. So moved in with her and we had inflatable furniture. That's all we
Oh
had.
God,
We had
was it
inflatable.
1999?
No, it was not. It was like 2003,
Okay,
2002, 2003. But so, I mean, it's still relatively around that time. But all of our
yeah,
furniture was inflatable, which always was funny to me because I was like, at the time, like I was fucking young. I was like, oh ha ha ha, like fucking frat boy furniture. And then after like 6 months, it was like I should probably be an adult and get like an actual couch. You know what I mean?
right.
And we had so that was like our apartment was actually not bad for what it was, but
Good,
everything in our apartment was very clear that was like we're living paycheck to paycheck. Like it was
right.
there was nothing about our apartment that said that we were doing well in any way, shape, or form. It was fucking inflatable furniture, the cheapest beer possible, whole shitload of ramen noodles, fucking like pans that are used for an entire week before they get washed, like that type of shit. Um,
Yo,
we had
I very
fucking
much had a very similar house.
we had PCP addicts that lived across the street from us, which is really
Oh, that's
funny.
fun.
Yeah, because like I don't even know if they were alive in the 80s. But like fucking straight up PCP addicts. Me and my friend Nathan, I'll throw his name out there because he loves this story. But my friend Nathan Jackson, we were getting very, very high at our house. We were getting stoned out of our minds. And I'm talking like full fucking hot box in the house. And we were watching Mark for Death by Steven Seagal. Okay? I
Oh,
say
it's a
by I say
terrible movie.
by yeah, I say by Steven Seagal like he made the fucking movie, but anybody that doesn't know, that was the Steven Seagal versus the Jamaicans is what that one was. So we're watching that movie, we're high out of our ass, and we hear like a pounding on the front door, and we're so high that we think it's on the movie. And then we hear a woman screaming from outside of the door while she's pounding. We're still thinking it's part of the movie, and then Nathan goes, I think that's your front door, dude. And I was like, oh, fuck. So I get up and I walk up to the front door. Sure enough, it's our PCP neighbors from across the street. It's the woman. She's like fucking freaking out. She immediately runs into my house and calls the cops from my phone.
Oh,
So,
Jesus.
yeah, yeah. So I go from being like as high as I've ever been to being so sober that I can feel everything all of a sudden. And I'm like, what the fuck did you just do? You just called the cops from my house. Look at all of the smoke in my house. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And then she sits on the
Right.
floor. She starts like rocking back and forth because she's fucking angel dusted out of her mind. And Nathan goes and he runs to the back of my apartment and hides in one of my closets. And I'm just kind of sitting here like John Travolta, the fucking John Travolta meme, just kind of like, all right, like, what the fuck do I do now? Like, I've got this shaking woman in my kitchen who's full of PCP, and I'm high out of my mind, and it very clearly smells like weed in my house. The cops show up. He knocks on the door. I open it up. He goes, "Oh, I can't walk inside. I might get too high." And he looks right at me, and I'm like, "Fuck, I'm going to
No.
jail." So the cop pulls me outside. He goes, "Can you tell me what's going on here? I cannot form sentences." He goes, "You're clearly of no use to me. Go back inside." She goes outside. He finally, the cop pulls me out of there, and he goes, "All right, so we didn't come to your house for this, so I'm not going to get you in trouble for all of that." And he points in my
At least he
house.
was cool.
Yeah, he goes, these two people, this is a common thing. They call the cops from neighbors' houses all the time because they smoke a bunch of PCP and they fight each other. And I'm just like, this is normal? He goes, yeah, they're gonna go to jail for a couple days and then they'll be back. So if she comes up to your door again, just don't answer. And I was just like, what the fuck is happening? Is this 1983? Like, what is happening right now? And he goes, so you stay inside, and if I see you or your car driving around in the next, and he goes like this, he goes, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. He goes, you're probably gonna go to jail. And then he goes, and say that to your fucking friend too. And he yells it over there too. And so I go back inside and I was like, Nate, come on outside, they're fine. And he comes out, he's like, is everything okay? And I was like, you fucking pussy. Like, you absolute fucking pussy. So yeah, that was probably the most destitute that I think that I had ever been, because like I said, we were on inflatable furniture when this was happening. So like the cop looked in there and saw like inflatable couches and shit, and it was just like, this is just two guys getting high, and they have fucking 80s drugs using fucking people from across the street. So I think everybody, that story is just to go back to, I think everybody has that feeling of destitution at some point in their life, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you watch this movie, there's parts of it that are that you can relate to. You've been in your like, you know, fucking bottom. And I think that's where his character comes out. I think that's where Brian
Right.
O'Halloran really comes out and shines as an actor in this movie, is when it's the parts that are not funny, that are not
Right.
Dante, you know. Um
Um, I think my favorite scene in the entire movie has to be after he saves the girl. Like I mentioned it, the karma scene.
yeah,
It's the only scene in the movie where both characters have a real human moment when they're not trying to like one up at each other. Like the producer's coming at him from a pure standpoint. He's an innocent. Like that's the only scene in the movie where somebody's not trying to have a power play.
right.
And like it's such a great scene. And I think this is one of those things where Kevin is such a good actor and he never gets credit for it because he's Silent Bob and he just emotes with his face, which anybody who knows anything about acting knows that that's the hardest goddamn thing to do.
Mhm.
Um, but he is so sweet as basically I think he's playing Malcolm Ingram in the movie, like
Yeah.
because his name is Martin Ingram, and
Yeah.
like I'm pretty sure Martin is a reference to Martin Brodeur, like the
Mm,
Devils hockey or goalie, like greatest hockey player ever,
that would make
outside of
sense.
Gretzky.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think he just took that character's inspiration from Malcolm. By the way, shout out to Malcolm. I hope you're feeling better, bud. I know you just spent the week in the hospital. Um, yeah, that's my favorite scene in the movie. And that's where both actors shine. And Brian shines anytime something off the wall happens. Johnson, not not
O'Halloran.
O'Halloran, yeah.
Yeah.
My
There's a lot of
roommate just got
Brian's.
home and is acting like a child.
That's
What's
fine.
up?
So there's a lot of Brian's in the movie, or in the
Yeah,
View Askew-niverse, there's a lot of Brian's.
there are
Um,
many of Brian.
and don't worry, it's fine if roommates are acting like children. We get that.
Okay.
That's part of it.
Yeah. No,
Um,
he snuck in very calmly and then shook his ass in front of me. So
nice. There you go.
yeah,
That's fine.
it's very calm.
Dude, I've had my roommate walk in like tucked back before when I was in the middle of a podcast. I'm like, really? You're
Well,
gonna fucking Buffalo Bill me? All right.
yeah, thank God he didn't talk back because I don't think his dick's big enough to make it to his ass.
Now he's gonna prove it to you. Um,
He
s
literally just said, "Don't make me prove it to you."
yeah, I told you. I
Yeah,
fucking said it. So for anybody that hasn't seen Vulgar, you can see Vulgar on Tubi. It's on Tubi right now. I think you can still get the DVD, like on
yeah,
Amazon and shit like that.
it's
It's pretty
about
cheap.
$13, or if you want, I just bought an unopened copy on eBay for 6, so
Oh,
you can
nice.
find it still.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
it's on VHS too. Like this is older than probably most of the listeners.
yeah, yeah. So if you're a physical media person, like it's out there. Like fucking definitely grab it. I have it on DVD. I've had it for a
Um,
long time.
it's
It's one
it's
of those
even on
ones
YouTube for free. If you don't want to download Tubi, you can just watch it on YouTube.
that you can do that, but I will tell you, fucking download Tubi because it's free. Like
Oh,
Tubi
absolutely.
rules.
Yeah,
Tubi
Tubi's
fucking
awesome.
rules.
Dude,
Tu
Tubi is the equivalent of walking into the horror section in 1987 at Blockbuster. Like
yeah,
it's just the best shit movies ever.
yeah, absolutely. And dude, Tubi originals have been fucking awesome. Like they've been,
Have they?
yeah, dude. If you go in and you look at a lot of the Tubi originals, there have been like I would say success rates like in the higher 80 percentile of like solid horror films. Like,
Shit, send me my way.
yeah, dude. Speaking of which, we could talk about this movie and Kevin Smith movies and View Askew for fucking ever. But
Yeah.
I want to get you into the kill list. Do you think you can do the kill list?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, for anybody that's not familiar with it, if you haven't heard the show before, the kill list, 6 questions, horror opinion questions. You can answer them however you want. There is no right or wrong answer. I will be very judgy though, so that is just
Absolutely.
100%.
I
Uh,
welcome judgment.
all right, first one. And you also, by the way, you can answer these as however you want. You can answer them short,
Okay.
long. Doesn't you? It's however you take the question. First one, Leatherface or Pinhead?
Leatherface all day long.
Nice. You were fucking ready for that one.
Yeah.
Um, so Leatherface, and it's funny. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is probably, I would say it's in my top three. It's not my
Yeah.
favorite franchise, but it's in my top three. I even like the shitty ones.
I
But
do too. I do too.
Leatherface as a villain, though, oh, fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, dude,
Absolutely phenomenal.
Bubba Sawyer is the best.
Yeah,
He's just a killing machine. There's no thought process behind it. There's nothing. He's just, and then you get the family. Like it's all good. You give me a
yeah,
cannibal family, I'm down.
yeah, absolutely. Um, if you could see, if you could erase a movie from existence, what would it be? It could be anything. Could be because you hate it. Could be for the chaos
I'm trying
effect.
to think. I've got like 1,000 things. You know what? You know what? Honestly, this is a very personal reason, and I'm sure I should say like Song of the South or something. But
We've had almost
Antlers.
200 episodes and nobody has said that one, so don't worry.
All right.
Which one?
No, the movie Antlers. It came out a few years ago. It's
Oh
about the
fuck.
Wendigo.
Yeah, yeah, I know what that
Um,
movie is.
I wrote a screenplay very fucking similar to that about a year
Oh
before it came
no.
out. And then I saw the trailer for it and then just deleted the screenplay because I was like, that's
Fuck.
my movie. So that's Antlers.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
Yeah.
Also, that's a movie about the Wendigo, and there was only one Native American character in it, and it was
Offensive as fuck, dude.
yeah, no, there
Yeah.
was literally it was one dude, and he was in there for like 10 minutes. Like
Where see
fucking
like the Wendigo is huge where I'm from originally in Wisconsin. I grew up right next to a Native American reservation. I'm from Wisconsin and we still say Indians. I'm sorry for that.
that's fine. Just
Even
slip up.
the natives still
Yeah,
have
yeah.
like Indian pride and stuff. But like that lore was so heavy me growing up. Like the concept of like the cannibal and the person that took more than he needed, and the Wendigo haunting you for that is like it's such a brilliant myth.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love that myth. And that movie just kind of shit all over it anyway. You know
It
what I
did.
mean?
Yeah, yeah. It was one of those movies that visually was really cool, but the actual meat of the movie fucking sucked. Like it
Yeah,
was yeah.
absolutely. I was so excited about it. Like that opening scene where the kid is feeding his dad, uh, is feeding his dad like the homeless guy or something. You know
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
remember what I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. Kill list.
yeah.
Continue.
I would say that's a great answer. All right, next one. Basement or attic?
As far as fear,
It's up to you.
dude, it's basement all day.
Basement all day.
Yeah, I grew up in a haunted house. Literally, like my house I lived in Wisconsin as a child was a Civil War era candle factory.
Oh shit.
And if you went into that, like I mentioned, I live near an Indian reservation. My uncle is native. Uh, he refused to enter my basement, and my dogs wouldn't enter my basement.
Holy shit.
You would walk down there, and you would feel oppression. Like it was
Ooh.
nightmare. Like it was a running joke in my family. That place was haunted. There's a really funny side story that there was a room that you'd walk through, and I would always be terrified to walk through it at night. Never told anybody about this. And then at Thanksgiving dinner, while we're all adults, my cousin brings up that creepy ass room, and I go, "What one?" And he goes, "The one you had to walk through to get your bedroom." And I was like, "Did you always feel like you were being watched?" And they were like, "Dude, all the time." And like, so yeah, basements are way scary.
All right. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think basements are definitely scarier. I think attics are filled with like Christmas lights and doll parts. I think basements are filled with monsters. So like, yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm with you on that. If you could remake any movie, what would it be?
War of the Gargantuans.
What's that?
War of the Gargantuans.
Okay,
I
that one I think
just
is going to
recently,
be I think it's going to be a deep cut for people.
I just saw it for the first time a couple, like maybe 2 weeks ago, and it's basically, if you break it down, what it's about two brothers trying to find each other in the world, and then finding out that your brother's a monster.
Oh, okay,
Um,
interesting.
it's a kaiju movie. Um,
It
and
sounds like a kaiju movie.
it's such an like they're giant Frankenstein monsters. One comes from the mountain, one comes from the sea, and one of them's evil and one of them's good. And it's basic, but it's brilliant. And I would love to have like a huge budget and reimagine that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to watch just the original because I haven't seen it. I've heard of
Yeah,
it, but I
you
haven't seen
should.
it.
You should. It's really good. It's like shockingly good.
I love a good kaiju movie, so yeah, I'm fucking way into it. All right, War of the
Apparently,
Gargantuans.
it's the sequel. Like, it has nothing to do with it, but it's the sequel to a movie called Frankenstein versus the World or something close to
Oh,
that.
okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and
Okay,
like the gargantuas are like lineage from that Frankenstein.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm into it. All right, we got two more. Next one,
sure.
Midsommar or Hereditary?
Hereditary. First time I saw Hereditary, I saw it with my best friend Nathan, and it was an hour drive home from the movie theater, and we didn't say a fucking word to each other afterwards. We were so shook.
Yeah.
The second that kid's head comes off,
Yep.
I literally sat back in my chair and was like, I'm fucking in. It is
Yep.
the first time I've ever like felt like a director was unsafe. Like I didn't feel comfortable in his hands. It's the only time that has ever happened to me. I was like, he just killed a retarded girl.
Like,
Like I shouldn't say that, but
no,
like,
but it's accurate to what it was. I mean,
yeah,
yeah. And also, she was the one that the marketing was based on.
right. You thought it was going to be about her.
yeah, it was such a brilliant bait and switch. And I think
Yeah,
we've talked about this. Like Graham said that when that happened, like he blacked out. Like he had to watch the
yeah.
movie a second time because he was like, when they took her head off, I don't fucking remember anything after that point because it shocked me so much. So I had to watch it a second time to kind of like fill in the blanks. And like Ryan says this too, he's like, there's no more horrifying image than her head laying on the ground
With the ass.
covered in ants. It's like the
Yep.
ants are just so fucked. Like that part
So
of it,
fucking visceral.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Horrible.
Hereditary it is. And also, all of us on the podcast agree that if you want to take us to a party in Sweden where they just throw shitty white people off of a cliff, that's a fucking party. We're
I'm
in.
down.
Like, yeah, like
Yeah.
we're in. So, yeah, Hereditary it
And
is.
that's not to disparage Midsummer either. Like I really,
No,
really
it's a
dug
great
that.
film. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a great film.
But Hereditary just hit me. And I also like that movie's all about like shitty family dynamics and manipulation and shit. And God knows when that movie was coming out, I was dealing with all of that. So
Yeah,
like it hit home.
definitely. All right, the last one, and it's a fucking big one. Favorite kill of all time.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
You gonna just drop that on me?
And yeah, it's the last
Um,
one. It's the last question. It's the main
if
event.
I'm going off the top of my head, and I this might be different tomorrow,
Sure.
but just from the like holy shit they went there,
Yeah.
like the first time I ever saw it, the handsaw scene, the wishbone scene in fucking Terrifier 1.
Oh shit. Okay.
Dude, I watched that
The
movie.
hacksaw.
Look, yeah, I was at a festival when that movie came out, before it was released, and we got to watch it with Damien and Damon and all, or Damien and David and like everybody. And I sat there with my fucking jaw just dropped, and I was like, "This is." I don't know if it's going to connect with everybody, but this is going to be important to horror.
Yeah.
Like you saw it, and you knew it
Yep.
immediately. And I got to talk to those guys and spend like an evening with them, and one of the best nights of my life. And like to see the success those guys had
Hmm.
after that, like oh, I'm so proud of them. I
We've
still talk to Dave all the time.
we've done a couple episodes with David, and he's fantastic. Like
Yeah,
he's
he's such a sweetheart too.
my
Like
my
he's the
friend
exact opposite.
my friend Aaron is the one that wrote and directed the Joker's Wild short. That is
Dude, that
that.
was so incredible. My buddy
Yeah,
Bill
dude.
Baker is like obsessed with that short.
Yeah, my friend Aaron,
I like the same.
Bennett, and his whole team. They're the ones that made it, and he came to New York to visit, and he told me that he was gonna try to get David for it, and I was like, dude, David's wanted to do a really fucked up version of the
Forever.
Joker for quite some time, so
Yep,
if there's gonna be
that
any
was
way
a
to do
dream
it,
role for him.
yeah, and it was great. So they've got some other cool shit coming on later on down the road that I cannot talk about right now, but cool
I
shit.
know a little bit about it, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, cool shit.
Hmm.
Those are great, dude. Great answers. My favorite kill so far, this has not changed yet, is in the first Hatchet movie
Sure.
when he pulls the woman's
The
head and her fucking tongue
Yeah,
flaps in the air. I was like,
yeah, it's amazing.
that's pretty much one of my favorite kills of all time. Just because practical effects, the comedic aspect of the tongue flapping back and forth, and also the camera shot of it doing the circle around as
Oh
he's pulling
yeah,
the head. I was like, dude, Adam Green, fucking, oh, mwah, chef's kiss
yeah,
on
and I
that.
love that guy too. Adam Green is such a nerd in like the best sort of way. Like
Yeah,
I've met him a small handful of times, and he was just an angel.
yeah, yeah.
Pardon
Yeah,
me.
dude, those were great answers. So,
Thanks.
yeah, dude, you fucking crushed on the kill list. So we are gonna do some recommendations real quick. I'm gonna start and then I will end with you.
Right.
First recommendation I'm gonna recommend right now is music wise. I'm gonna recommend the newest tracks from the Pretty Wild because I think what they're doing is really cool. They're really leaning into the fact that they're just hot chicks doing deathcore, but it's like really
Okay.
fun. It's like really fun deathcore. Um, I know that deathcore is not definitely not everybody's thing, but like it's cool because they mix in like straight up like fast like Bone Thugs and Harmony fast rap mixed with
Nice.
like crushing guitars, really good drums and some fucking gnarly harsh vocals that go in
Oh,
with
I
it.
love that.
Just
Yeah.
really, really good stuff. Also gonna recommend the most recent Spirit Box album because their
Okay.
whole album is good from front to back. I'm a really big fan of Courtney LaPlante. Her vocals are fantastic. So that's a really good one there. For streaming, I'm going to recommend. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to recommend going to Tubi and watching Vulgar on streaming because it's there and you
It's a
should
good
watch it.
one.
You should watch it. Physical media. So I'm going to recommend first, since we're talking about extreme horror, this one is called Feed. So if you've never heard of or
Oh,
seen
that
this,
movie's fucking horrible.
yeah, dude, this movie is gross. Like, dude,
Yeah.
it's like it's gross.
It's about feeders, man. Like
Yeah.
gross.
And that's the thing is like when you take it's weird when you take horror movies and you turn them on to a thing that can be considered a kink, which is
Right.
kind of what this is. You can do it in a way that's either very tasteful or you can do it like they did with Feed. And they made it just fucking gross. Like it's it's funny because like when I'm a big fan of unearthed films and what they do
Sure.
because
Me too. Me
they
too.
take some crazy fucking movies and they put them out on physical media. So sometimes I'll do a blind buy, and occasionally I'll do it when like it's on sale or something like that. And I saw that Feed was coming out, and I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna blind buy that one, because I saw who the director was. I saw that it was one of the first movies that they'd made. I knew that they made Virtuosity. They made Lawnmower Man, and I know that was one of their first like horror ones. They
Right.
also made Man Thing, which if you've not
Oh,
seen Man Thing, if
is
you're a
that based on the DC comic?
it's Marvel. It's based off of
Marvel comic.
Marvel.
Yeah, that's what I meant to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the Man Thing movie was a sci-fi original. It's an R-rated creature feature comic book movie.
Sure.
It is dog shit, but in the best way. Like it's
Awesome.
abs dude, like it's a sci-fi original. So like that's really, but like
Right.
it's fun. Like it's a fun sci-fi original. It's gory as hell. It's a huge creature feature. So anyway, yeah. Unearthed Films, side shout out to them. Check out what they got. Stephen Byro, he's great. He's the one that does all of the movies. He's also the one that directed the American Guinea Pig movies. So like
Oh, okay.
he's the owner of the company and also the director of some of the movies. So
Oh,
uh,
nice.
he does a lot of cool shit. And then the other one I'm going to recommend is one I just got in the mail. This is a movie, if you haven't seen it, it's a really fucking crazy Japanese cyberpunk horror movie called 964 Pinocchio.
You were just telling me about this. I had my guy go on the internet for me and find it. I'm planning on watching that very soon.
Dude, it's fucking crazy. The Pinocchio in this is a cyborg sex robot that gets decommissioned and thrown in the trash and wakes up and becomes sentient in cyberpunk Japan. So,
That sounds amazing.
dude, it fucking rules. Like it's crazy. So yeah, that actually just came out on 4K, so I got that in the mail. It's fantastic. I ordered it back in like December or something like that and it just came in.
Right.
So,
I love when
uh
that happens with pre-orders. You forget about them, and it's like Christmas.
yeah, just showed up surprise. And the 4K, dude, for what it is, I mean, this movie should, there's no way that this movie ever should have been in 4K, like at
Yeah.
all. It's one of those movies, It's like Tetsuo the Iron Man. Like, there's no
Right.
reason that should be in 4K, but it fucking is for whatever reason. So yeah, 964 Pinocchio rules. It's from Media Blasters, which is a great boutique label for a lot of different, like Asian horror and different smaller horror films. That is what I got. What do you got for recommendations?
For music, Shredders, the hip hop group from Minneapolis. My
Nice.
friend Steph's in it. It's if you're familiar with like POS or Doomtree out of there,
Oh
they
yeah,
Steph was part of Rhymesayers. He's his name POS. He raps under it. It's this newer project called Shredders with Sims and a couple other guys. You guys should check that out. That's awesome. Streaming wise, you should check out We Love Wrestling on IWTV. They're an amazing company right now, putting out some of the best technical matches in the Midwest. They just had their Death Wish Cup, or Death Wish Cup, which hands down one of the best deathmatch tournaments I've ever seen.
nice.
Um, they're just doing really cool stuff out there. Uh, Yellow Jackets season 3, fucking amazing. Just finished that last night. I don't
Oh
know if
yeah,
you've ever watched it, but it is Lord of the Flies on crack.
Yellow Jackets
Um,
rules. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know if you watched that last episode, but holy shit, does it end bad, like with a bang.
yeah.
And then physical media, go with Repo Man, Criterion Cut. You ever
Oh
see
yeah,
that?
dude. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
Alex
actually need I
Cox,
need to get that for my collection. Actually, that's a great
dude,
one.
it's amazing. This is Harry Dean Stanton in this movie.
Yeah.
You're thinking about shrimp, like, dude, so good. And Emilio Estevez, for what it's worth, acts his ass off in this movie. The
He's underrated as an actor.
Absolutely, especially this era, like Breakfast Club, like he's killing it.
Yeah.
Um, and like there's some really amazing commentary on like commercialism in this movie that I saw as a very young teenager and like 12 years old, and it's very rare to say a movie changed me. There's maybe 5 or 6 movies that changed me. Repo Man is one of them. If you have not seen that and you have any sort of punk rock ethos, it'll probably be one of your favorite movies ever made.
Yeah, Repo Man is a fantastic movie. It really, really is. And the Criterion, I've seen the Criterion version of
Yeah,
it, and it's fucking great. So
it's so good.
that's a fantastic recommendation.
Thank
Definitely
you.
one that I need to get for my collection. Dude,
Also, one last thing, just a
yeah,
professional wrestler that I really, really dig. His name's Tommy Trainwreck. Good worker. Check him out.
Tommy Trainwreck.
Yeah,
All right, definitely make sure to tag him on here when we put the episode out.
for
Um,
sure.
dude, and thank you very much for coming on to the show. You fucking rule.
Thank you.
For everybody listening, you can definitely check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/AGHP666. You can become a member of the Army of the Goddamned. We have everything from $1, which is just your way of saying thank you to us for making this stuff. You get everything that is in all of the platforms. You can also pay up to $20 if you're somebody who's got a little extra cash to throw our way. We're more than happy to take it and make more awesome content for you guys. And I don't have the names of everybody on there. That's Graham's thing. But we appreciate you guys very very much, and also our listeners literally all over the world. Like, dude, we have listeners
Awesome.
from everywhere from the United States all the way to the Turks and Caicos Islands. Like, we have people listening to us in fucking United Arab Emirates. Like, it's crazy. We like so all of you guys, if you got horror from these regions and from these areas and you want us to cover it, please hit us up, man. We want to hit up any of these areas that have this horror that we haven't seen before. We love putting eyes on, independent, definitely foreign horror, like from all over the world. We're very into that. So please, like, if you have anything like that, send it out to us. And also, shit's crazy right now. The world is crazy. We all are going through all this together. So if you guys are ever going through anything and you need to talk to anybody, just hit us up. Shoot us a
Yeah,
message.
absolutely.
We might not have
Please.
the fucking answers, but we will listen. Like, that's, and sometimes that's all you need.
I've always said I might not have the answers, but I got the shoulders. You can cry on
100%,
them.
yeah. That's what it is, man. We all got to do this together, and we want you here. We want you here to enjoy horror along with us, and we want you here in the world. We all got to do this together. So, in the meantime, if you guys are out there, start some fires, break some glass. We will see you guys later. Thank you.
Later, guys. Thank you.
Hold on.